Welcome to Gamesthetic. Today is I Don't Know What We're Talking About Saturday, featuring me and John, because Zach is busy. This is also the Saturday where John Cena is going to lose to R-Truth, the Saturday Night Main Event, so shout out to that too. John, how you doing, buddy?
It's one of the, I forgot that was tonight.
Yeah.
Mostly because my time frame's a little screwed up right now.
Took a nap, yeah.
Took a nap, take an extra day off, and then every day is ahead in schedule right now.
Right.
Of what you expect it to be.
Right, I get that.
But yeah, doing all right.
Yeah, that's good, because we're just going to be hanging out, because like I said, I don't know what we're talking about. So full transparency off the top for our listeners. If you clicked for the title, we're going to get there, I promise. But we're probably also going to ramble for a little bit, so you just got to bear with me.
Yeah. When you messaged me earlier and we were like, hey, weather's kind of fucky today. Do you wanna do a remote show? And I was looking out my window after I woke up from my nap, and I was like, man, I should probably go over there. And I was like, man, I don't want to leave.
I don't blame you. That was me. I didn't even want to come out here. I just wanted to stay in the house, out of the studio. But yeah, it's just one of those days. So again, if you clicked on this episode for any of the title topics, no, we will talk about it, but we may not just lead off with it, because normally those might be more weekly wrap-up things. We'll get there. We'll have a good time. It is what it is. So some things that we will touch on today is the Randy Pitchford situation. I'm really disappointed Zach's not here, because I wanted you two to just go at it. That's what I wanted you two to just go on a rampage.
His reaction after you posted that in Discord, I was sitting at work, and he messaged back, and I looked at it. I literally just busted out laughing.
Oh, shout out. So we're going to talk about that. For anyone who does not know who Randy Pitchford is, that is the head guy and the self-proclaimed face of the Borderlands community, I suppose. So, and a lot of negativity there amongst the Borderlands community, especially John and Zach. So we'll touch on that. This was definitely more of a weekly wrap-up thing, but still got to talk about it. Xbox and Steam stuff is heating up once again, so we'll touch on that. There's also some more stuff with Bungie with the whole marathon situation, so I'm just kind of proposing a question on what could save Bungie. Probably 100-line Last Defense Academy. Me and John both have kind of played it in some capacity since last episode when Zach played it, so we'll probably touch on that. Monster Train 2, if John wants to chat about that, been playing that. Maybe some controller stuff, shout out. And if we feel like it, we might throw out a little list later, a little 10 list of games we want to play. We might talk about that too. We'll see. I don't know. But check out the Patreon if you want to support us further. We'd appreciate that extra support. Join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend. Check out all of our sponsors like Agent Inc. and Rogue Energy. And go to Sparky 3 Shop as well. I'm going to turn down the music now. And we're here. We're just going to grip it and rip it today. Last week was almost like a 2-hour episode, right? So if today's like a nice hour, all good. No big deal. Get on with our evening. That'll be great. Because at 7 o'clock, Saturday Night Main Event starts. So shout out to that.
Oh, dude, I was just going to say, speaking of last week, there was a period where you guys were just fucking rambling in the weekly wrap-up, and I was sitting over there,
Yep.
And I was like, dude, these guys have been talking for 30 minutes, and we've gone down 2 items.
There was a couple moments last week where that happened.
The ones that were clearly for you guys, and I'm just sitting over there like, God damn it. Why? It's like, man, why did we just move these up to the topic? Because what are the topics last week? We talked about for 5 minutes.
Right. Look, that's how it happens with the weekly wrap-up sometimes. Sometimes you can ramble.
Sometimes we're more interested in stuff down there, but it's not the bigger news.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the Persona 5X clip that I put out?
No.
Okay, so the Persona 5X clip that I put out, for people listening, I just put out the clip of us talking about how, the date's released, me and Zach being excited about it. But the reason why I wanted to make this a clip is because I made sure to highlight John.
Is that the point where I've just put my head down?
Yeah, so it starts off where I'm just like, Persona 5X, and Zach's like, woo! And he's just like, as he's doing that, I swap full cam to John, and John just shaking his head. And I made sure to put up on screen, John's done. Wait for the end. So then we get through the whole thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wail, and you make the joke that the shop is my tutorial. In these games, I go straight to the shop. That's my tutorial. Then I pop up black screen later in the show, and I'm just like, all right, I got some Kingdom Hearts news, and John's just like, nobody gives a fuck. You made me sit through Persona 5X, and now we're talking about Kingdom Hearts. Are you fucking kidding me?
That was one of those, because like I didn't scroll all the way through it. Then by the time I saw it was on there, I was like, oh come on.
I should have had those two back to back, man. Kingdom Hearts and Persona. I should have had those back to back last week. Oh my god, that's great. Oh, all right. Hey, let's lead off the show with this. Hey, shout out to that new that new Witcher 4 controller. Shout out to that.
No, that's a 10-year anniversary to Witcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher 3. Sorry. I said Witcher 4. But yeah, shout out to the Witcher 3 10th anniversary controller, and shout out to me continuing my meme of sending it to John the moment I see it. Did you buy it?
Of course I bought it.
Okay, all right, I figured because it looks cool.
Yeah, it's one of we were actually talking about this right before the show started, where a lot of mostly the special edition controllers, like the game related special edition controllers for the last really since I started picking up controllers, have all been really good.
True.
Or at least for the most part have been really good. So yeah, I kind of debated on that for a while. I sat with it in my cart for like 30 minutes and was kind of bouncing back and forth on if I should.
If you should be responsible or not.
Yeah, if I should be responsible. Eventually I just said, fuck it.
Right.
And then we did talk about this previously, but I do have it in.
Look at
now.
that. Hold on, I'm gonna go full screen for you. Look at that.
It's the Doom Eternal Xbox limited edition controller.
That's sick.
It is a very, very nice controller. Especially with the buttons here actually being
like Doom symbols.
It's the Doom symbols on it.
Yeah.
Very nice controller.
Right. And then also what you pointed out to me before we started, because I didn't know this, is that like the actual like metal on the side is like actual ridges in the controller and stuff, as well as around the around the Xbox button. So that's sick. That's nice touches. Yeah. I love that shit.
It's like this down here is like these are actually ridges on the controller, and these are actually like raised kind of points on the controller, which I really like when they do stuff like that, where it's not just like an kind of like almost an image printed on it to look like it's that. I much prefer when they actually have the extra detail in it. Yeah. Which is real nice for this one. I thought it was probably the case, but yeah, real excited about that. And then I think the Witcher controller is going to be here on Tuesday.
Right. Nice.
So, excited about that one.
Yeah. I know for me this week, on Wednesday, I will be getting my 100-line Last Defense Academy. I did buy it physically for the Switch. I have not completed the demo because I'm actively avoiding it. I do not want to finish the demo and be left with nothing to play. So I'm very excited to actually get the full game. Did you buy the full game, or have you just done the demo?
Oh no, I bought the full game.
Okay, yeah, because you sent that little screenshot earlier, so I assumed you did. But yeah, no, I mean, what do you think of the demo? I mean, obviously enough to buy the damn game, but like, dude, I'm excited to actually play this game. I'm excited to get into it.
Well, that's like when Zach was talking about it last week. You probably noticed from like the little you've played of the demo, basically what he was saying happened to that demo. 100% accurate. Yeah, everything is fucking beat for beat.
Yep.
Exactly what happens, which is great. I mean, I really like the demo, and then now I've got the game. I've been I think did I buy it earlier today, or did I buy it yesterday? I just bought it like in the last. Oh, I guess I bought it today. Yeah, because I played the demo and then finished the demo last weekend. And then kind of off and on played other stuff throughout the week. And then was kind of sitting here this morning. I was like, because I've been wanting to buy it for a couple days now. Mm-hmm. But I was having that debate where I was like, do I want to buy it and play it on Switch? which is what I initially wanted to do, or do I just buy it on Steam? So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it on Steam. It's like my
Right.
save data's there. I don't have to play through the demo again, which I wouldn't mind doing, honestly. Go through it a lot faster. But yeah, I really enjoy the game. As it turns out, I'm a pretty big fan of these visual novel / tactics games.
Hey, it's a good wombo combo.
I love it. I love the combination of it. And it's like this game's pretty like. I mean, this game has like the kind of the social elements. Like you have your free time, and it's like that's one downside that I didn't like about, say, like the Persona games. This game is super streamlined with it. It's like you can open up. I don't know if you got there in the demo. You basically get to open up a map and see where, like, you could scroll through the different floors of the academy, and it shows you who's on the map, who you can spend free time with, and just essentially warp right to them. And it's like it's super quick. Like it's kind of short dialogue sequences followed by like gaining a levels towards your grade, which you have to have certain, like, you have to do the social stuff to gain the levels, or to like gain the grade levels so you can like actually upgrade your equipment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm honestly really enjoying the game. It is. I mean, the demo just carries on from what it was, but I'm having a blast with it. It's kind of relaxing to play.
Yeah.
I've started to see, or like, as you get more characters that actually take place in the battles, and the battles start. I mean, they get a little more to them, which is kind of fun. Like, you get the tactics portion of it. You get more, kind of like, you get more battlefields. You get more battlefields, more enemies on the screen. They're not particularly hard. Like, I haven't had any that where I had to like really think about what I was doing yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of like I said in Digimon Survive, I enjoyed the tactics parts of it, but it's not necessarily why you're playing the game. Or it's like, by the end of Digimon Survive, it was, I was enjoying the story elements of it more so than the tactics portion of it. And this is kind of like, I'm enjoying them both kind of equally right now, but the story's starting to move along for me, which is because there's a brief period where you have a lot of free days, or I had a lot of free days in a row, so it was like kind of a point of like, days are just kind of passing, and then stories started kicking back up a little bit. So it's definitely there's definitely more starting to happen. Things are starting to open up a little bit.
Right.
Especially the further and further you get in, like day wise, you unlock more and more rooms in the academy. So there's more stuff to do during free time.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I have not finished the demo because, like I said, I've been actively avoiding finishing it because, like, the little bit I played, I fell in love with it pretty quick. Where it's like, okay, yeah, this is kind of up my alley. This is a cool vibe. I'm here for this. So got the game on order. I'll be here Wednesday. One of the things that I've enjoyed immediately is just the sense of humor of the game. The sense of humor of the game is just, it's stupid and it works for me. Just the little stuff like, going around and exploring, going into the boys' bathroom, and the only thing you can click is the window. and like your character will be like, someone must be controlling me because why else would I be looking at this window? And if you keep clicking it, his dialogue constantly changes, where he's just like, why am I looking at this window? Why am I wasting my time looking at this window? Why am I still looking at this window? So it's just stupid shit like that. With Sir, with that little dude, just like this kind of jokes he'll throw out there. I've just really enjoyed the sense of humor of the game. I just think it's stupid. And it's just the kind of sense of humor that can get a chuckle out of me every once in a while. Who is like the battle crazy one to kill everyone girl? What's her name?
Darumi.
Thank you.
She was the one who said that thing that I said earlier.
Yeah, she said something early game where when they were explaining everything, she's just like, "Well, I don't really understand it, but I'm also a straight F student, so I don't understand a lot of things." And I'm like, "Same, sis, same." So it's just it's dumb shit like that that just makes me laugh. Like it's just my sense of humor. So now, for a long time, like Danganronpa fans and stuff that's kind of in this universe normally, they're just like, "Oh, you guys have been missing out potentially." I have no idea. But it's cool for me being someone new stepping into this kind of general vibe of a game,
Yeah. Speaking of the kind of the humor of it, there was a moment when I was playing earlier where in the early parts of the game, there's like we kind of talked about last week, or Zach talked about last week. There's kind of, or like the school gets attacked, and you have to go out and defend the school. Some characters aren't willing to fight.
Mhm.
Or like they just don't. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that. For whatever reason, they won't go out and fight. And part of what I was doing earlier was trying to convince them to actually go out and fight. And like one of they were trying to decide who was gonna be the one to try to convince them to start fighting. They end up telling your character, like your player character, to go convince them. But Darumi, like the crazy like goth lady, it made a comment along the lines of, yeah, it's probably best that you go do it because it's like if one of us go do it, we're probably gonna break the social link anyway. I was like, okay, all right, we're just gonna straight call these social links here. But that character is constantly referencing, like to her, it's kind of all of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even in like got a battle, or like the school was under attack earlier, and the characters always meet up and talk about it beforehand. It's right before the last thing she says is like, all right, time for me to go get a bunch of EXP. It's like, okay, well, that would make sense, but we don't do XP in this game. But her character is just treating everything as if it's a game.
Right.
But yeah, the 100 line Last Defense Academy, it's great. I'm glad I actually decided to buy the game.
Yeah, I saw a couple of articles come out about it as well, where it's just like, this is like one of the best games of the year, and it's just going under the radar for people because it came out the same day as Expedition. You got some other games coming out. You got Elden Ring coming out in a few days. You got Switch 2 about to drop. So it's like, but yeah, I've seen some articles say like this is one of the best games of the year so far, and people are kind of missing it. So I hope people kind of see the hype and kind of get back on the train, because I mean this game scored really well. It got like an 87 on Metacritic.
Oh yeah, I mean between the demo and what I've played so far, I'm like 5 hours into the game, and I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
Like it's like the game is very much still opening up to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like things are changing constantly. But I'm having a blast with it.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited to get my hands on the game on Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday, that is what I will be playing. So and Friday as well. So I'm pretty pumped about that. For me, I'm still just working on Expedition on my second playthrough. I'm in Act 3, just messing around in Act 3. Just having fun with that. It's still one of those things, dude. The amount of shit that I'm seeing, crazy. Love the little touches that I'm seeing. So like, the ending of the game that you did, right? There were straight teases of that earlier on in the game. Straight teases for it, like like the final scene, everything. that
Oh yeah,
happened for you?
I don't doubt that at
Yeah,
all.
it was in some conversations at camp. Literally, boom, line for line, like what happened in your ending was talked about in a dialogue, and I'm just like, bruh. It's like God bless, man. Just everything about it's great, dude. Everything is about it great. Uh, for this playthrough, I romanced Lune. Because with the first playthrough, I didn't even know you could romance anyone, and it just kind of happened with CL. I didn't know.
That's basically what happened with me
Yeah,
because I was
didn't
like, I
know.
didn't know this was a choice. It just kind of the way I went through everything naturally. I was like, oh, I
It
guess
just
this is just
happened.
a thing that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. So you can romance Lune, but the way to do it is you have to purposely go out of your way to not romance CL by either not having the conversations at all or turning her down. And then in Act 3, you can then have the option to romance Lune after you help her. So I did it, and it was just like a single scene, the campfire scene, whatever. And it was so funny to me how they did it. Because it was just like, oh, do you want to help me? It's just like, yeah. And it's just like, all right, goes black, it has the text at the bottom. And, it's like, oh, they wandered off and did their thing, and the way the text said is they took care of business that needed to be handled. And then they started working on the song. And then it has extra dialogue of them. It's like, when they returned to camp, CL smiles at them, and then it has the next line. All it says is "she knows." And I'm just like, "That's great, that's great." Um, so no, I'm having fun with my second playthrough. I feel like I'm having a very successful playthrough compared to my first one, just because I know the game now, obviously, know how to play. So I'm having a lot easier time, even on a harder difficulty this time around. Uh, I don't have a firm build yet. Like I'm kind of toying with the build I used in the game last time, which is similar to your Verso build that you showed me. I'm still kind of using that one. However, now that I know it exists, I am using the Ichigo sword, which actually is so good for the build that I'm doing because it's the Ichigo sword. It's Confuso. It focuses on burns. So, dude, I'm talking like I'm doing crazy damage with burns right now. Crazy. Like I'll have an enemy be at half health, and that will take them out. Like the burn will kill them. Like it's crazy what I'm doing with burns. But a build that I really want to do that I have not put together yet, but I'm putting the pieces together is I want to try the auto death nuke build. So I have not actually built up auto death yet, where everyone can learn it. I'm waiting to get all the pieces for it first, and then I'm just going to go grind and get everything set up and give it to everybody. But I want to do the auto death build where I can just go in, battle starts, auto death, just big explosion, things die, second chance, whole thing. Because it looks crazy. Some of the auto death like nuke stuff that I've seen is ridiculous. Where it's like everyone walks in the battle, all the auto death stuff all kicks off and the battle's over, because you win, and it's crazy. So I want to try an auto death build, but I have not gotten around to doing it yet. I have been playing a lot of Monoko though. His all of his feet is almost gathered. I've gathered almost every foot possible. So I still, even though that's the case, in case you're curious, when you start your next playthrough, I still don't have an actual build for Monoko. I have no idea what to do with this guy. Genuinely, I have no clue.
Well,
Uh,
that's like when I do go back and play it again. That that's gonna be part of the fun for me is trying
yeah,
to play with Minoko and actually figure out how to play with him.
yeah. I had a build working for a little while, like through Act 2, but once we got to Act 3, it became irrelevant. So I'm working on getting a new one where I forgot what weapon I had, but it was a weapon that always started me on whatever the purple mask is, the Agile mask, I think. And I had a darkness attack that would attack all enemies 3 times. So I would always start there, and I have like energizing start on him, so he has enough points to do that attack immediately because it's like 7 cost. So I would always start with that. Then it would bring me over to the heavy mask, and then I had like 2 or 3 different heavy moves that are like super high damage. And with all the energizing start, I had 1 through 4 all on him. When it came back for his turn, doing some parrying, some dodging, whatever, he had enough to do like the portier crush or crash or whatever, which is a big can break damage move that hits everybody. And then after that, it's just kind of rinse and repeat sort of thing. So that was working for me for a little while because I also had whatever the red one was, the red mask, where it's if someone's burned, I can get more damage from them being burned or whatever. So that worked really well in Act Two. Arguably, Monoko is my best unit in Act Two because with that build. But once I got to 3, dog shit went down the drain, buddy. Got to hit back to the drawing board. That is not the play in Act 3. So I am busy gathering up stuff for him right now, and I'm gonna figure out a new build. So no, I mean, been having fun with that though. What else have you been up to? I know you played some Monster Train. I know you've been excited as hell for Monster Train 2.
Well, it was one where like I kind of forgot about it until like last week, honestly, and then remembered that it was coming out. Cause like I enjoyed Monster Train 1. Like I didn't play it a ton. I think I had like 40-ish hours into it. Cause it's one where it's like I played it when it came out, had a lot of fun with it, and then moved on.
Right.
Monster Train 2 has been fantastic so far. Cause like I watched the opening cutscene of that. Couldn't have told you before what Monster Train was about. Apparently the first game was angels invading hell
Oh.
to try to stop demons. And then Monster Train 2 is some of those angels have allied with beings from outside the world and are invading heaven.
Oh, nice.
And it's basically that. But Monster Train at its core is it's deck building roguelite. The gimmick to it is it's like you're on a train that has 3 levels to it. Enemies start on the bottom floor. There are like modifiers that for levels that you can, or like additional challenges where you can have enemies spawning on every floor from the start of the game or start of the battle. But enemies start at the bottom floor, and a round of combat happens. If they survive, they keep moving up, and at the top level of the train is your pyre that has a certain amount of health, and if they make it up there and destroy it, the run's over. So that at its core, that's basically the game. I think I have all of the covenants unlocked yet, which are basically the factions. I think there's 5. There might be 6, but it's 5 or 6 covenants into it. And when you do a run, you pick 2. You pick your basically your primary and your secondary. Primary one determines who like your hero is, which as you level up, you get like as you level it up, you get alternate like heroes that you can use that all have like different effects to them and like different things that can different like attributes or something that can roll on their cards like as you progress through. I don't know if there's more than 2 because I haven't played. I've played for like maybe 8 hours. Actually, I could check real quick. Yeah, 9.5 hours on it. I haven't won a run. I've mostly just been going into it and picking a bunch of different units, seeing what all the cards are, unlocking stuff as I go, and just trying to like pick at different stuff. Seeing what all the new stuff is. I haven't. It's weird to say that I haven't like gone for a winning run yet. I've had some strong runs, but not. It's like none that I was like. As I was playing, I was like, oh yeah, I'm winning here. Because the thing with Monster Train is, you start. It's like basically when you win a run, you get an addition, like you get a new level of difficulty, and then you keep progressing up the levels of difficulty. So as I've been playing, mostly just been going in, picking units to see how they interact with each other has been the main thing. Now that I have all the different like covenants unlocked, I'm just throwing them together, seeing what combinations kind of work together well, or like to an extent they can all kind of work together, but some definitely do more than others, at least that I'm seeing so far. So just been playing around with it, having some fun. It's been a good Steam Deck game.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, shout out to Monster Train. It was part of the episode 50 games you need to play. Shout out to that when the show was under a different name too. Shout out to that list.
Well, that's the thing is like I very much enjoy these like different iterations of these deck building roguelike games, and Monster Train is one of the more unique ones.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like I think the most well known, like well received one was probably Slay the Spire. But it's not my favorite. I prefer the uniqueness of Monster Train and like the different levels to the combat of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one where if you played Monster Train 1, you're probably gonna like Monster Train 2. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you do like these deck building roguelike games, you should enjoy Monster Train 2.
Right.
I'm having a blast. Like I said, I'm about 10 hours in. I don't even have a winning run yet, and I'm having a blast with it when I play.
Yeah, like you said, just a good Steam Deck game.
Yeah, it's a good game where I can hop in, like if I got 20-ish minutes and don't have an idea of what to do, I'll just launch it, do a run, see how it goes. Because that's what I've been doing sometimes. Is I'll look around and be like, I got like 30 minutes before I need to hop on something else or I need to get something done. So I'll just do a run real quick.
Right.
And yeah, it's been great. I'm looking forward to keeping to playing it some more and seeing what other unlocks the game has. Because like right now, I mean, it has its general like just do your run. It has daily challenges. I haven't seen what that's about yet. I kind of wanted to familiarize myself with the game and like a lot of the cards and different factions in it before I started doing the daily challenges. Kind of just that's like my preferred way to do some of this is I like to know like what a lot of the cards and stuff do. That's why I'm playing around with all the units because a lot of them I wouldn't I probably normally wouldn't use, but niche times where I like see something I'm like, oh, this actually works pretty good with what I'm doing.
Right.
So it's fun. I'm happy. I'm happy that it finally came out. It's one of those where you know it's happening, but you forget when, and then it gets close to time. So it's like you get to get excited all over again.
Mm-hmm. I get that. Did you also end up playing any Doom?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I did end up playing a little bit more. Literally like 2 levels away from where I was the first dragon level. I gotta be honest. It was okay. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. And the sad part is, I'm like, as a non-Doom guy here, I'm actually not in the minority saying that. A lot of people was like, yeah, the dragon stuff is fine, I guess. And like, the whole Titan thing, I described it as like, it's almost like boxing, because it is. Once you come up to a big demon, it's just like you do a dodge and you hit him. You do a dodge, you hit him, you kick him. It's pretty basic stuff, I'll be honest with you. But like, kind of a potential crazy hot take here. I don't know, because this game is dead as fuck, basically. But like, if you want to talk about a good game riding a dragon, you're better off playing that free to play PvP Century Age of Ashes game. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like the whole dragon mechanics with Doom: The Dark Ages was very like, it wasn't exciting like I thought it was gonna be for something that was advertised. It was okay.
More of like a cinematic thing, or does it feel like it's supposed to be more of a cinematic thing than like an actual combat thing?
I don't know if I would say that. I just don't feel like there's enough
I don't
to
know
it.
what it is, so I haven't seen it.
So once you get on the dragon, like so for me, like you start off and you're just going through some giant cave tunnels. You shoot some stuff down, just learn what to do basically, and then that's when you kind of get out into an open area that's like a big base that you need to take down all these different blimps, these demon blimp things, whatever, and you just go through. They're shooting turrets at you. You lock onto them. You do quick dodges when they go to shoot, which allows you to shoot the barrier. And then you land the dragon and you go take out the blimp on foot. But like just the general combat for what the dragon is offering is very minimal. I feel like it was just one of those things that I feel like it's one of those things that kind of came late where it's like, oh, you know, it'd be cool. Let's ride a dragon. Throw that in. You know what I mean? But like, there's not a lot of stuff to it. Like, you know, I guess because I'm one of the few individuals in the world that has actually played like that Century game. I was hoping for a little bit more of like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to like, you know, fly my dragon, do some shooting, maybe do a barrel roll every once in a while, you know, just something like that. No, it was pretty basic. It's pretty slow. It wasn't super exciting. That's just my hot take, maybe. I don't know, but I just didn't think it was. I didn't think it was super great. I thought it was okay. It was fine. If I had to give anything like a 6 out of 10 for the dragon part, 7 out of 10. It was fine. You know, I had an okay time.
One of those where it's like probably an idea that happened, maybe even like kind of early on.
Yeah.
But the focus of the game was more on like the
ground combat.
The normal ground combat. Yeah. So it could have been one of those things where it's like yeah, the rest of the stuff's great, but remember we have this dragon section, and they're like, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, we'll get to that eventually. Apparently, it's a few times in the game too, because I saw some people on Reddit complaining about that when because I wanted to see if I was in the minority, so I was looking up different opinions. It's like, all right, how's the dragon part? What does everyone think about it? And someone who's beat the game is just like, oh yeah, you got to do it a couple times, whatever. And someone in reply like, oh god, I got to do it more than once. Jesus. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm glad I'm really not like on my own little island over here saying, yeah, this is kind of not great. This is kind of just okay. I mean, it's fine. The ground combat's still great though. I'm still enjoying the crap out of the ground combat. I've been putting so many upgrades into my shield. I love the shield to death, man. The shield is so damn fun. The shield is great, dude. But you know, so I'm still hopping on Doom every once in a while and just playing a level and just kind of moving on from there. So I mean, it's fine. It's fun. Is it a game I might roll credits on because of how easy it is to get there? Because I'm playing on a low difficulty because I'm a bitch. Yeah, I mean, I might roll credits on it just because, again, I basically hop on, I play a level, and I get off. So sooner or later, it's gonna snowball where I'm gonna beat the game. Sooner or later, if I continue to do that every once in a while.
Well, see, you say that it's what you might do that on, but here, I mean, here in a couple days, you got 100 lines showing up.
You're right. You're right. No joke about that. And the best part is I've also got the Switch 2 in like 2 weeks, so I'll be able to also play the 100 line on the Switch 2. So that is also pretty cool. Also going to check out Cyberpunk on the Switch 2. So that's also going to be pretty exciting.
Why do you need to check it out on the Switch 2?
Because I want to play. I haven't played Cyberpunk on a handheld, mister. I have it on Steam Deck. All right, so yeah, that's something you checked out to test your Steam Deck. So now let me do it for the Switch too.
Where do you own Cyberpunk?
Just PlayStation 5 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you'd bought it on Steam or if it was on PlayStation.
No, I never got it for Xbox. I only have so I've got the original copy for PS4, and then I did buy a physical copy of the Ultimate Edition for PS5. So that's where I've got Cyberpunk.
You're gonna buy another copy just to play it on Switch too?
Yeah. Why not? It's a day one release with a pretty light day one lineup. The entire game is on the cartridge, so that's pretty cool. That was one of the reasons I wanted to get it. So yeah, I'll play Cyberpunk on the go. Why not? It'll be fun. I love Cyberpunk. It's a great game. Fantastic game. 10 out of 10. Especially now.
Yeah. I just remember the days where people used to make fun of me for buying the same game over and over again. And you are way worse about it than I ever was.
I really am. I mean, like, dude, I really am. Because, you know, got Cyberpunk for 2 consoles now. I have Persona for everything possible. I've got Mass Effect Trilogy on everything
you
possible.
find a game that you like and you buy it for everything that they offer it for, regardless of if you're gonna play it on it.
Yep, correct. I mean, I bought like the Steelbook edition for Persona 5 Royal on PS5. I've never played it on PS5. I just bought it because I love the game and I wanted the Steelbook. I've played it on Switch and I've played it on Xbox. And then the other thing is, I'll buy some games for one console and then end up later buying it for, like, let's say the Switch, because I'll play it. Oh, this would be a good Switch game. I'm gonna buy this for Switch now. I've got 2 games that are like that. Shout out to this one. Let me unlock a little core memory for you, because I don't remember if you played it, but I know you at least listened. I think me and Zach played Dealfield Chronicle. Did you play that? I can't remember.
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't play that.
Yeah, I got it for Xbox when it came out. I've also gotten it for Switch. And then 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. I got that for PS4, and I've also gotten that for Switch here recently. So I 100%, I will buy games more than once, man. All the time.
I think about it a lot because there's a lot of times where like I will just instinctively buy a game on Steam.
Yeah.
And then like every now and then it becomes like it's a bit of a detriment because there's certain games where like I'll buy them and I'll start playing them, and it's kind of like, man, I wish I didn't buy this on Steam. I wish I bought it for like Switch or my PlayStation or something, because it would be, I feel like it would be more fun to not be like a sit at my desk game. It'd be a better like sit on the couch game, or like sit in my recliner game.
Fill that.
One of the bigger examples of that for me, or like the prime example of that for me, is Dragon Quest 11.
Yep.
Dragon Quest 11, I bought it on Steam. The first time I went to play it, played it for like an hour and a half or something, and it was like, man, I wish I bought this for a console. And then I didn't touch it for like 8 months. And then when I came back to it, even as I played it, and even like when I fell in love with the game, I still had that feeling where I was like, man, I wish I would have bought this for like my PlayStation or something.
Right.
And I've almost bought it a couple times for Switch because it's got a great Switch version.
Man, you are a fan of that game.
It's a great game.
That's a game that I do want to play. I do want to play that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fantastic game.
Yeah. Which actually proposes a question for you. Do you want to do that 10 list thing that I sent you?
I don't know if I have 10
if you don't
ready to go, but I have some.
Okay.
Definitely.
Right. Okay, well, let's do it. All right, so we're gonna go through 10 games.
Say, you want to back and forth it?
Yeah, we'll back and forth it. Well, in no particular order, by the way. No ranking, just back and forth. So we're going to do 10 games that we really want to play that we have not got a chance to play. This is not counting games that we have not finished. If we've made it so far in, we're not counting that. If we've played the game for like 20 minutes to an hour and it's a pretty big game, I feel like that's fair game if you want to say, I really want to play this game because I haven't really played it. So I'll start off with one. I will start off with a GOAT, an absolute GOAT, one of apparently the greatest video games ever created. And that is Chrono Trigger. I really want to play Chrono Trigger. One of the GOATs.
I wasn't thinking about it, but I will throw my hat in there with you. This is one where you hear about it all the time.
Yep.
And it is one of the games that is held as like peak gaming experiences, kind of.
True.
Which is one where it's like, yeah, I would like to get to that at some point, especially because like as I've gotten older. As I've gotten older, not necessarily my tastes in games have changed, but I really enjoyed like JRPGs now more than I ever have.
That's true. You have actually recently.
I've grown into being a more like RPG player. As we said earlier, I'm realizing like these visual style / tactic games are like some of my favorite style games.
Yep.
It's like I've changed over the years where I appreciate these style of games more.
Right. What's one you got?
Kind of on a couple things that I thought of. I can't boil it down to a game necessarily. It's more of the series itself that I want to get into.
Okay, I do have a couple of those as well. So don't worry, I'm with you.
So the first one that immediately came into my head when you proposed this earlier, I'm actually going to get a chance to get into this year.
Ooh.
It's the Trails series.
God.
Trails in the Sky. Is we're getting the Trails in the Sky.
Yeah, the first. Yeah.
Coming out later this year. I've been looking at the Trails series for a decade.
Dude, I can't believe I forgot that on my list when I was literally looking at the Trails physical copies just the other day. How did I forget that on my list?
I've been wanting to get in this series for a long time. I own a couple of the games. Like I own the first game, Trails in the Sky. I own it on Steam, but I think I played it for like 10 minutes a couple years ago. And then I own the first game in the Trails of Cold Steel series.
Yeah.
Which is I think like the third series
of
games.
It's the third arc. It's the third arc.
Yeah,
you have the
Sky
like the third
arc.
Whatever the next arc is technically called, because it's like the next arc has like Azure and Zero and From Zero and something else, but it's like the Sky arc, whatever that middle arc is, the Cold Steel arc, and then the Daybreak arc, I think is where we are now.
Yeah, so it's like it's a series that I've wanted to get into for a long time. I'm gonna have an excuse in September to get into it, and at least play the first one, which maybe from there it'll send me on the path to play the rest of the games.
Right. Yep. I'm actually right there with you. That is on my list because I constantly look at physical copies to buy. Because like just the other day, I saw Wario64 post up the PS5 premium edition that has Cold Steel 3 and 4 in one disc for the PS5. It was like $15 at Best Buy. And looking back, why didn't I buy it? Don't know. Didn't do it though. So I'm always looking for that stuff. Another one for my list that is the same thing. It's a series that I want to get into. And same thing, I had an opportunity. I think it's still on sale right now. So if you also want to play this series and you want to buy them physically, you can go over to Video Games Plus right now. It's a Canadian retailer, and you can buy 0 to 6 for like $70, and that's the Yakuza series. I really want to get into the Yakuza series. You can get all of the, from the 0, the 1 remake, 2 remake, the remastered collection, which has 3, 4, 5, and 6 for like $70, $60 on Video Game Plus right now for PlayStation. Great deal. I really want to hit it up because this is a series that I really want to get into. The more Zach talks about it, the more that I think it just sounds really cool. I know Like a Dragon is going to be more of the one that I'll probably really enjoy. But if I'm going to get into the series, I want to get into the series. You know what I mean? I want to go back and play 0 and go through it. Well,
you also need to start back then because the games reference themselves constantly.
Yeah.
Like the story is, I mean, the story's been going on for 20 plus years, and it really is over 20 years of storytelling that they've been doing that if you just play the newer games, you're not going to have context for.
It's the same thing for for the Trails games. Because like, for gamers that don't follow the Trails games, let me put in perspective. Trails is the One Piece of gaming. Okay. Like it really is.
Trails is a series of games where I think there's like 20 of them.
Something
now,
like that.
around 20 games of them.
Approaching 20 at least.
They're all like over 100-hour games.
Yeah.
That the world and the storylines are interconnected.
Exactly. It's the One Piece of gaming, man. Like literally when they made the Trails game, they looked at One Piece and said, I can do that.
Yeah. It's games that take place, like if you play the games out of order, you won't know it at the time, but you'll have spoilers for different versions of the story.
Exactly. So yeah, no, Yakuza is one that's on my list. I still might end up buying that collection.
Yakuza, I've tried.
Yeah, I know.
I've tried a couple times.
Yeah, I know you have.
It's ones where I can't even point to anything and tell you why I couldn't get into it.
Right.
Because the thing is, there's a Twitch streamer who like he plays games. He's a big fan of the Yakuza series, but one thing he does is he posts like full video breakdowns where like he'll play through a Yakuza game and then eventually on his YouTube channel he'll post like a 2 to 3 hour video of him playing through it.
Mm.
And I'll sit down and watch those, and I absolutely love watching them. But because I love seeing all the crazy shit. I love seeing the stories to them. I just can't get into playing the game.
Yeah. I can understand that.
It's one where I wanted to, I've tried, I just haven't been able to.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
One game. Okay, here's a game I've been thinking about it recently. I've tried before, and it didn't work. It goes on sale all the time. I'm thinking about buying it on PC to give it another try, which will probably make you happy because it's one of your favorite games of all time, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, let's go.
I've never been able to get into it. I tried when it around the time I think it came out.
Yeah.
I was so bored.
Cowboys are slow. That was his. Me and
was
John were living together. That was his exact words.
I was so bored in the prologue. But over the years, I've seen people. I remember talking to I remember years ago talking to my brother about it. Like we just like back then we had like we'd call each other like once or twice a week and just have like a long talk. And it's like he'd talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 constantly. That was like he would play that all the time. He would do kind of like what you said you do. You just hop into it. You may spend 2 hours just roaming around hunting.
Sure.
Or something, and just doing shit like that. It's one where the longer time has gotten away from it, the more I look at it and think maybe I should go back and actually give it a fair try.
Yeah. Now's the time, brother.
It might be one that I try to do this year.
Please do.
Like I said, it goes on sale all the time. I might try to pick it up on PC because I think I would enjoy it. I might enjoy it more. Like, just like, because sometimes some games just feel more comfortable playing them on mouse and keyboard. That might be a game that I feel more comfortable playing on mouse and keyboard.
That's fair. That's fair. Since you shout out a humongous notable game in the gaming industry that you want to play, let me also match your energy here and shout out one that I own. I own the complete edition for on the PlayStation, which means I also have the PS5 upgrade for, and I've still played. Okay, the actual game, I think I've played legit about 30 minutes to an hour. Now, there's a mini game in the game that I've probably played 2 or 3 hours of. And that is The Witcher 3. All right, I need to get around and play this freaking game. All right, Josh talks about it all the time about how it's such a goated experience, and I need to play it.
That wasn't anywhere in my mind. I've got to match you on that.
Okay,
actually.
all right, let's do it.
I don't think about it often, but it is one where every now and then, if you look up like the greatest RPGs, like of like relatively modern times, this game is at the top of every list.
Okay.
Or it's near the top of every list. Like everybody holds Witcher 3 in like the highest of esteem.
Yep.
I think I'm the same as you. I played it for maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've played it for like 30 minutes. Basically got to the point where I could play like whatever the card game is, Gwent or whatever. And I played like 2 or 3 hours of that, and then I got off Witcher 3 and went and downloaded the standalone game of Gwent. I mean, like, that's my experience with Witcher 3. So I need to go actually play this game at some point. It's apparently a goated experience. I got to go play it. I own it for the PS4, which means I have the PS5 upgrade. I gotta play it at some point. I can't. Josh would be so disappointed in me because I've gotten Josh to play a lot of these other games that I've told him, dude, this is goated. This is goated. Red Dead being one of them. Like he's played so many games that I've told him are goated, and I'm over here. I have not played Witcher yet, so I got to get around to it.
You know, I think I'm in this portion here. I'm kind of just hitting your games,
Nice.
because this is one where, you know, we've joked around about it a little bit. I've had some fun with it this year, but I've never played anything in the series. I've never played a Metroid Prime game.
Oh, here we go. Gotta play the first one.
I've never played a Metroid Prime. I don't have any way to play a Metroid Prime right now, but it's one where people seem so excited to talk about it. Everybody talks about it like they're some of the greatest games, like from their childhoods. I don't know if it's nostalgia. I assume it's nostalgia talk.
It's not. It's not.
It's what we're. That's what I'm saying. I assume it is because I've never played it. I've never really looked at them. But we saw the Prime 4 gameplay, and to me, I was like, eh. But maybe that's because I haven't experienced it.
Yeah. So to be fair, for the Prime 4, I was also like, because like with how long the development's been and the restart, I expected a little bit more. But it's still going to be a fun game.
Yeah, but it's what we're like. That's what we're like. I hadn't really thought about it before, but when you mentioned that earlier, I was like, that seems like something that if I'm a clown on Prime 4 as much as I have been, I should probably look back and at least give a thought to playing the original games.
So all three of them are actually really good, but at the very least, you got to go play one. I mean, when one came out for the GameCube, it was like a 97 on Metacritic. It was hailed as like this was like way above its time. And if you go back and play the GameCube version, it's like when you think about when it came out, it's ahead of its time. Up front, it is. And then just if you go pick up the remaster, when the remaster came out for Shadow Drop for Switch, it also got like a 94 on Metacritic. So I mean, dude, play the first one. The first one's great.
Yeah, I probably should at some point.
Yeah, at least that one's easy access to play. I mean, 2 and 3, you would have to still get like a GameCube, and you'd have to get a Wii until they finally port those up. But at the very least, at the very least you have easy access to one. You know what I mean? That's the plus side.
Yeah.
Staying in the Switch genre as well for me. I've talked about it a few times on the show, and I've been eyeing the games nonstop. Also from Video Game Plus because they constantly have a deal that features all 5 physical games. I really want to get into Xenoblade. I want to play Xenoblade. I've been really wanting to play Xenoblade for like the past 6 months. I've never even touched Xenoblade besides 20 minutes of X on the Wii U. That's it. Man, I've been wanting to play it for about like 6 months, but dude, I'll tell you also, especially since Expedition 33, I have been wanting to play Xenoblade because everyone keeps saying, "Oh yeah, this is just French Xenoblade. This is just French Xenoblade." I'm just like, okay, well if that's the case, I gotta go play Xenoblade, like because I love Expedition 33. So the Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, 3 are very high on my list. 2 Gold Torna Country, whatever. And yeah, I'll put Xenoblade X in there at some point too. Actually, give that a fair go because I played like 20 minutes on the Wii U. But Xenoblade Chronicles, that is a big one that I really want to play.
I got 2 right there. You can't hardly see it because it's blurred it out, but that's Xenoblade 2. I think I have the first game somewhere around here too.
The definitive edition?
I may have bought it digitally, but I have it somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, no, that is on my list to buy.
It's one where I need to go back and actually give it a fair shot.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever gave the game its fair chance when I went to play it because I don't remember anything about 2, and like the enhanced first game. I played it a little bit. I don't know how far I actually made it into it. I don't think I played it for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one where I don't know that I gave it a chance, and I think if I went back, I'd probably enjoy it more.
Probably with how more open you've been to JRPGs and stuff.
But yeah. You know, this next one, I don't have an excuse to not play it. But because I think I own them all. I'm actually looking at them right now on Steam. I've never played BioShock.
And you own all 3?
I have all 3 of them. I have the remastered version of 1 and 2, and BioShock Infinite.
I played the first one, but that's it. I never beat it though.
I think I've talked about it before. I don't remember what it was that I had played right before. But like the opening of BioShock is like, I think swimming towards the lighthouse and then entering a dark lighthouse and going up. I didn't do anything past that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I did that. I like got to it, closed out of the game, and I was like, we'll come back to it another time. I've never played them. Everybody who talks about them talks nothing but greatness about them. and I think at some point I need to actually just sit down and give him a fair try.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because there's got to be a reason why these games are so highly regarded.
True. I know Zach will be pretty pumped to hear you say that. Uh, I know for me, one that also like you, I don't have an excuse to not play it because I do own it. In fact, in terms of my collection, it was like the last big title I bought of my collection. You know, I've bought a couple smaller titles since, but it was kind of like with how my collection is, it was like the last big one that I really wanted to get. And that is for the GameCube, Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. So I got that a few years ago on vacation in Orlando. I've been looking for it for a little while. Didn't want to just buy it online. I wanted to find it in person. Found a copy, great condition. I think I got it for like $100 or so. I don't remember. It's a Nintendo made horror game on the GameCube that just it seems so cool and interesting the way the game fucks with you, where it'll like purposely put you in like game over states and stuff, but your game's not over, or like it'll say like your game crashed and your game didn't crash. You know, it's such an interesting concept, you know, for Nintendo to do a horror game for. And I really want to play it. I own the game, have not played it once. Like I said, it was with my GameCube collection I've got, it was kind of like one of the last ones that was like one of the big ones I wanted. I've bought a few games since for the GameCube, but they were all really small. You know, that cost me like 10, 15, $20, you know. But in terms of the big dogs, it was kind of the last one. And I really don't have an excuse why I haven't played it since I have it. But sooner or later, I will sit down and play Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem.
One of these is also, I mean, this is also going to be a series for the most part, like an entire franchise of games that I have dabbled in. I haven't actually beaten any of the games in it, but I've tried a couple of them. But at some point, I would like to actually go through and play the Final Fantasy games.
Okay, I can agree to that. I almost put that on my actual list, so I can agree with you.
It's one where it's like people only really talk about a couple of the games.
Yeah.
When they do talk about them,
Like 7 and 9, for example.
it's like 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
Are like those are the big boy games that everybody talks about. Funny enough, it's like I played through probably 2/3 of Final Fantasy VII Remake, but then very much just stopped playing it because I realized this game's not going to be finished for a decade.
True.
And then, like, the other thing is, I've played through probably 2/3 of Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
Still want to get back and finish that game, but I've never really looked at it. Although they released like the pixel remasters a couple years ago for like all of the early Final Fantasy games. I've almost bought those so many times. I look at them constantly.
I don't blame you. I think it's a really cool collection to have. I want it too.
So it's like I'm probably, if I ever find them on a decent sale or like a decent price, I'm probably gonna buy them all and just sit down and actually start playing through them because it's a series that I've never really been super interested in, but it's always talked up so much that it's like I know the games aren't really connected.
Mm-hmm.
It's like each game, most of the games are just their own thing.
Yeah, standalones.
There is something about like there's something in my head where it's like, well, if I'm gonna play the game, if I'm gonna play the series, I want to play them in order, or I kind of want to play them in order because it's like one of the hardest things to do is start with a new game and then go backwards in time.
Yeah.
It's like that is if you start early and then work your way up where everything gets more refined as you go, then I feel like that's gonna be the better experience than starting at the newest stuff and working backwards. Granted, I've played more Final Fantasy 16 than any of the other games, but it's also a completely different style of game.
Right.
So I feel like I could, if I go back and start from the beginning, I could enjoy it more. So
Yeah.
I want to do that at some point.
Yeah, I can agree with that because, like I told you, I've looked at the Pixel remaster a lot too. Because number one, I think it has a really cool box art. If you got it for like the Switch, whatever. And for my next couple of games, it's kind of in the same realm of what you just said. That once you play the newer ones, it's kind of hard to go back, right? Because I mean, sometimes it is, and this is one of those cases. Is two games that I really want to play, and I guess since there's one game left out, might as well throw in two. But I would like to go back and not replay, or play for the first time the first three Elder Scrolls. Namely, I want to play Morrowind and I want to play the first Elder Scrolls Arena, and I guess throw Daggerfall in there so it's not left out. I mostly want to play Morrowind just because of how highly regarded that game is, where everyone's like, it's been kind of a real telling thing recently with the Oblivion remaster, where Skyrim only players are playing this, like, wow, Oblivion's got so much more to it than Skyrim. And then Morrowind players are like, oh, just wait till you try Morrowind. That has even more than Oblivion's got. So like that's cool and interesting to me. I've tried like maybe an hour of Morrowind a long time ago. And with Oblivion being my first game, I thought it was a big downgrade too. But I was also like, I was a kid, I was a teenager. So it's like I'm more open to going backwards these days. And then Arena, that is not one that I could definitely foresee myself beating because that's a big downgrade. But man, I just want to play it because the fun. I didn't know this till just recently that Elder Scrolls Arena has the entire map of Tamriel to explore. You can go to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It
can go
has
to the everything.
it has it. I think it is it still like the largest map in a game
Yeah, I mean it's one of the biggest
because
ones. It's huge.
because it's one where like the entire map is open and you can select like different continents and
Yep.
then click inside the continent. You could actually walk the entire thing if you want to.
Yep.
But it's like, yeah, it's one of the craziest things. Somewhere around here, I have the full Elder Scrolls collection.
Yeah, you bought. I
that
remember
has
you bought that pack.
yeah, that has everything.
Yeah.
Like it has all of their games, and it's got like a cool art book and everything with it.
Yeah. So yeah, Arena, I just want to play it more so just to check it out. You know what I mean? I want to see this map. Like the map is the reason I want to play it.
I said I had some games on here that were your games. I don't know that I'm ever actually gonna play these.
That's fair. Because some of these, like,
don't-
it's like I want to play
I
them, but when will I play them?
yeah. I don't know that I'll ever actually play these. Not because I wouldn't necessarily want to, because it's way funnier if I don't.
Oh, here we go.
One of your favorite game series of all time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect.
There you go.
I don't know that I'm ever actually gonna play it.
I hope you do.
Not for the reason of like I wouldn't want to experience the games. It's because of it's like I said before. I want to play the games in order. Mass Effect. I don't care what people say. I've tried to play the first Mass Effect game 3 or 4 times. That game sucks. In my opinion, that game is not fun.
Hey, the Legendary Edition version is fine.
I mean, think about it this way: you're a huge fanboy of the game, and your response to the game is it's fine. Think about someone who has no attachment to it.
I know.
That translates to that game sucks.
It's funny. Christina, she's in 3 right now still, and she still preferred 1 over the other ones.
I don't know. There's nothing fun in that game. At least to me. Like I've played through. I don't know how far I've ever made it in the game, but I've tried like 4 times.
Yeah.
On like 3 or 4 separate occasions, I've downloaded it and tried to play through it. I have not enjoyed it. I eventually maybe I'll sit down and do it because I've heard nothing but greatness of Mass Effect 2. Not even just from you.
Yeah.
I've heard it from a ton of people that the games are great. It's just maybe if I ever made it through the first one, I would have fun with it. I just do not enjoy. I've never enjoyed sitting down to try to play that first game. First game just is so fucking boring.
Look, to get to the first game, just so you can get through it, just do this. Put on the easiest difficulty. Just play Soldier and go.
Well, no, it's not a difficulty thing. It's not anything like that. It's just I was bored out of my mind playing it.
Well, Just play soldier and go shoot things, and then start to play with stuff in 2 and 3.
It's like I think that's what I was doing in the last time I went to play it. I was just I got to a certain point, and there's certain times where like I mean in this case I wasn't enjoying the game, but there's certain games where there's not a reason why I stopped playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know the worst example of I was absolutely loving a game and I stopped playing one day and I just didn't go back to it. And I don't know why. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
I played that game. I sat down. I bought that game when it came out. I sat down and played it for an entire weekend. Like I woke up and I'd start playing it, and then I'd stop playing it and go to bed. Wake up the next day, start playing it. Go to bed. Woke up the next day, didn't touch it again. No idea why. Because I loved every moment that I played that game.
So that's going to be a game that if we ever do a list of top 10 games I want to finish, that's going to be on the list for you.
It probably will.
Yeah, I get it. I've got a good few that's on that list.
There's no reason that I stopped playing it.
Yeah.
But I know why I stopped playing the first Mass Effect game.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, hey, at some point, maybe. As we've said, my gaming tastes have kind of broadened over the past few years, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I go back to it with just the mindset of get through the first one to experience the series, because I've always gone into it and I'm like, all right, let's play them all, and never. But if I go into it, I'm like, let's just get through the first one to see what people are talking about. Maybe that's the mindset I need.
And once you also get more into the story of the first game, you may enjoy it more too. That may be also a thing.
Maybe, yeah. Like I said, I have no idea how far I've ever made it in the game. I just know that I've never enjoyed it when I went to play it.
Yeah. So I've got 3 more that I can shout out here. 2 of them are series that I've played and love the series, and there's just more games that I want to play. The first one is Persona 2. Doesn't matter if it's Innocent Sin or Eternal Punishment. I really want to play Persona 2. Yeah, I would like to play Persona 1, Revelations Persona Revelations, whatever. I'd like to do that too. But I especially want to play Persona 2. I see a lot of people talk about the story of Persona 2 and the story between Eternal Punishment, Innocent Sin, whatever, and just the differences of the games, like the different POVs and everything. It just seems super interesting to me. So Persona 2 is definitely one that's on my list. The next one is also Fire Emblem. I love Fire Emblem games, the ones that I've played, but there's still a lot more I want to play. One of them falls into the same category of BioShock or Eternal Darkness, where there's no excuse. I've got it. It's still one of the most expensive games I own in the house, and that's
Path of Radiance.
Path of Radiance. Still,
have you not played that?
I've played like 20, 30 minutes, and that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
Cause I didn't think about. I didn't think about Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
but it's one where it's like I've fully beaten one Fire Emblem game. I have a couple more
that you've started,
like that like I have on like DS, I think. But yeah, I do want to go back and actually play those.
Yeah. Path of Radiance is one of the big ones I want to play, as well as the sequel Radiant Dawn that I don't have and would like to try. Fates, the Fates games. Me and my wife, we bought the special edition of Fates that has both games plus the 3rd DLC game, which since the eShop is dead, you can't get that game anymore unless you get like the cartridge or you like do a ROM hack or something. So that's one I would also like to play. But honestly, one of the biggest ones that I want to play, and I'm holding out hope and prayers that the long-rumored completed remake is real, so I can play it there, and that's Genealogy of a Holy War. That is one that I really, really want to play. That was a Super Nintendo one featuring Sigurd, and that is one that just seems super cool. The concept and the story behind it seems super sick. I want to play that. So, I've played 3 Houses. I've played the Warriors games. I've played Engage. I've played Awakening. I've played part of the first one for us that's simply called Fire Emblem, but it was actually like the 7th game or something. I don't remember what it was called, Binding or Blazing Blade or whatever. But Genealogy of a Holy War is one of the biggest ones that I really would like to play. Hopefully that remake is real. Do you have some others you want to shout out before I also shout out my last one?
I got one of the biggest games that I want to I do want to go back and play. I've tried it a couple different times, and I've quit it for various reasons. Well, the first time I tried to play it, I stopped playing because I just didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing. Didn't know what was going on. The last time I went to play it, uh, I just didn't. I didn't play it long enough to really. It was before I started to appreciate the type of game that it was.
That's fair.
And it's Bloodborne.
Okay, that's fair.
I want to go back and play Bloodborne, especially in the last couple years. I've been playing Souls games.
Yeah, you've gotten big into Souls.
I've been playing Souls games. I've been playing Souls likes. I've been really enjoying certain types of game, like certain versions of the games. Like I didn't like actually go through and complete Dark Souls, but I I don't know how long I played it. I played it for a little while. I think I got like 2/3 of the way through it maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then but it was more of just like I started playing it to see if I would enjoy it, see why people enjoyed the game, and then just generally was having fun with it, but decided I got what I needed to out of the game.
Right.
Because a lot of times I don't feel the need to beat certain games. I'm not games that I enjoyed don't I don't feel like I need to beat them to get my enjoyment out of them. I got what I wanted to out of Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
I got the feeling of why people like why the game took off because it was genuinely a lot of fun for what I played. And then like I've I've played some Elden Ring. Didn't play a ton of it. I've dropped off it a couple times for various reasons. Usually something else came out that I was more excited about because that's always been like the few times I've tried it. It's been a drop in, see what this game's about. Uh, but especially like in the last year, I've started to appreciate that style of game more. And like Bloodborne, it's like it's one of the fan favorites. It's like the cult classic that everybody wants more of. So I kind of want to go back and see if I can capture that experience. See if I can understand why people hold it to the esteem that they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Bloodborne is one that's like heralded, man, as just one of the goats.
It's like I'm not gonna sit here and say that like I'm a Souls player or anything like that.
You basically
I'm
are
not
these
really.
days.
It's like I'm not gonna sit here and say that I am. I play the games for a period of time and then I just stop playing them. I don't feel the need to beat. Like I said, I don't feel the need to beat games every time I start one up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one where it depends on the game. If the game grabs me, I wanna see it through.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like maybe that with the aesthetic of that one, it'll grab me like some of these others haven't necessarily fully grabbed my attention.
Right. My last one, I don't know if this is like, oh my god, that biggest banger of an Ender one, but it's still one that I've wanted to play since the game came out. And at least when it dropped, I think it was on Game Pass. I don't know if it's on Game Pass anymore. But I want to buy it physically just to have. They actually had just a free DLC come out just recently. Sea of Stars. This is a really sick looking pixel RPG that came out a couple years ago. Was nominated. I think it might have won Best Indie Game of the Year and Best Debut Game of the Year at the Game Awards a couple of years ago when it came out. Man, it just looks like a really sick game, and they constantly continue to update it with like a free DLC. It feels like every couple of years, like every year or so, a new update, new DLC will come out to play. This is one that's been on my list for a while. I've the amount of times, kind of like what you said about like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, where you've constantly looked at it or all the time and almost bought it. That's me with Sea of Stars. I'll see a Sea of Stars out in Target or something. I'll just stare at it. I'm like, I want to buy you. I want to have this in my collection and play it. So sooner or later, I will be playing Sea of Stars. I just don't know when, but that is one that I really want to play at some point. It just looks really cool.
Yeah. Not. Let's see. I'll end it with this. It's not a game. It's not a series of games. it's a style of game that I want to get into,
Oh, okay.
and that is it's real time with pause RPGs.
Okay.
So like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. That's like the Pathfinder. Granted, over time they've added in like turn-based versions of the games, but it's the real-time with pause style RPGs where like combat starts and like you pause the game, issue like the commands and stuff that you want to happen, and then you just resume and things happen.
Yep.
It's much more like tactical. It's much more like there's a lot more happening than a lot of times like a turn-based style game, and I've always preferred turn-based. And I've tried playing some of these games as like in their turn-based modes, but most of the time they're not made for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're made for the real time with pause, and it's one I've never gotten into. And so I wanna at some point give some real give it a real try and actually learn how to do it. And I'm sorry, I got real distracted over here.
You're good.
That's Bronson Reed.
Oh, Bronson Reed's back. I don't have Saturday Night Main Event on.
I just pulled it up a few minutes ago. It looks like he's back.
Oh, okay. I'm not watching, so shout out to that. Shout out to Saturday Night Main Event.
Guess who he's allying with?
No shit.
Oh yeah, he just allied with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker.
Buddy, that's sick right there, buddy.
That's a faction right there.
Oh, but
I was out of the corner of my eye. I was like, who is that?
We're big wrestling fans here, for the record. All right. Shout out to Terrible Wrestling Show.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one where like, yeah, that final one there, real time with pause. I've never, like I said, never played them, or I've tried to play them, never really gave it a fair shot to learn how to do. I want to give it a shot. 'Cause some of these games are heralded as like groundbreaking games. I'd love to actually be able to play them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good one to end on. Just a whole genre, especially with that style of game, something that you're really interested in. So that's fair. I respect that. You made it all the way to the end of this video. You tell me, what games do you really want to play that you haven't got around to? Make a list down below. I don't know if we shouted out 10. I have no idea if we did 10 or more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just kind of went.
No idea. But comment down below some games you really want to play. I'd like to know. Let's chat about it. I always try to respond to all comments, so comment down below. All right, let's actually hit the title stuff and get our way out of here. We're an hour and 30 in. We got title stuff to do. I said at the beginning of the show, my bad, it might be a little bit before we get to stuff. This is a bullshit random episode, so it is what it is. So let's start off with everybody's favorite, Randy Pitchford of the Borderlands team and company. Let's start off with this guy. People love Randy.
I think I said it last time. Randy just needs to fucking disappear for a while. He needs to stop showing himself. Stop portraying yourself as the face of Borderlands. We don't want to fucking see it.
Dude, when I sent for people listening, when I sent John and Zach the news, John's just like, why do they let him talk? And then Zach responded with, yeah, I saw that when I woke up. I fucking hate Randy.
Is there another example of like the guy who you let always be out in front, that would be the face of your product? Is there another example that people just fucking hate?
God, I really don't know, man. I feel like there towards the end, maybe Jim Ryan, but he wasn't as prominent as Randy. You know what I mean?
But it's one where Randy has to be the front of everything Borderlands. And the thing is, every time Borderlands news comes up, it starts with his face, and every Borderlands fan fucking sighs.
Yeah, just sighs or groans.
It's like, oh god. It's like, yeah, Borderlands, but God, Randy.
Yeah. All right. So
Guys,
here,
let's get to this shit.
yeah.
What
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
here's what happened. There was some post that Randy put up. I didn't even see the OG post, but a fan commented on the post saying, "Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher." This is something that you as a CEO should probably just ignore. But instead, he responds. And he said, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Oh, buddy. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 91 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage in an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach. And I found a way to make it happen. I understand what Randy's trying to say, but you don't say it, buddy. You don't say it. You worded it wrong. You were trying to be inspirational, and you just look like an out-of-touch jackass up front.
Because the problem is, like, he's comparing him, assuming, he says, fresh out of high school, you're assuming he ain't got a lot of bills to pay. It's like, he might still be living at home. If he's living at home, then, yeah, of course you get to save all the money you make from your job to spend on a game. Most people these days, it's like gaming used to be like it's always been an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Especially these days where, like, not only, like, most of the time games come out, they're all like, they just raised prices a couple years ago to $70.
Yep.
But even then, most $70 games these days have additional transactions that you can make for them.
True.
And then half the games that come out, they call themselves $70 games, but half of them have, like, early access periods that people feel like they have to pay into to get the game a few days early, so they either don't get spoiled on it, or it's FOMO.
Yeah, which that's me a
So
lot.
it's like that. So then it's like, your games aren't $70. Your games are $100, and you're charging $70 for people who either don't care or don't know about it. So it's like, anybody that's actually looking forward to games, half the time they buy a new game, they're paying $30 more just so that they feel like they're experiencing the game with everybody else.
True.
So it's like, yeah, you can't say if you're a real fan you'll find a way to make the money. You know what that does? That makes people not want to play your game.
Exactly. Like dude, there was so little excitement amongst here on the show, because on this show we got 2 Borderlands fans, not me, by the way. I know our last Borderlands video, a lot of people had some comments there. We got 2 Borderlands fans here, and like even amongst the Borderlands like Twitter community, there was very little hype until that state of play. Then that state of play is like kind of injected some hype into the game, and now there's
That's what I was gonna say. Is Zach watched the state of play, came onto the show, and said he was actually excited for the game now. He was looking forward to it. And then Randy's got to open his fucking mouth. Because, like, I was ambivalent towards Borderlands 4. I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then Zach hyped it up and talked about it, and I was like, okay, maybe this would be a game that I buy a little closer to it actually coming out. Maybe I do buy it day one. Then Randy opens his mouth, and I'm like, I don't want to even buy the game.
Right?
It's like, I don't want to support Randy.
Yeah, fuck Randy.
I'm like, yeah, I could buy Borderlands 4 and maybe enjoy myself, or I could say fuck you, Randy, and go about my life where, like, I wasn't really thinking about Borderlands anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially when you have like a bunch of other stuff coming out this year you want to play.
Yeah.
So it's like
fuck you, Randy. Maybe I go buy the Final Fantasy Pixel games instead.
Yeah, or go buy Devolver Digital's new game coming out, apparently, because Devolver Digital, as they like to do, likes to, be a meme and slam dunk on some things. They did a quote tweet about this saying, "You're going to be able to buy Mycopunk," which is one of their new games, I guess, for you and 3 friends for the price of 1 copy of Borderlands 4. Which then, of course, Randy's got to chime into that too, instead of just shutting up. And Randy's just like, Mycopunk is cheaper than a point of meth.
Before, if we thought Randy was dumb with his message about the fucking price,
yeah, this is it.
Where a CEO really needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, where he says Mycopunk is cheaper than a point of meth, probably with fewer side effects too. Randy, brother, you got to go do some PR training. Like, you got to know when to shut up. Jesus Christ. He ended up half-ass apology. He never said, I'm sorry. He just said, it wasn't my intent to offend, whatever, but he still just kind of went on about being thankful in the community, blah, blah, blah. But he never actually said, yeah, I was out of touch, it was a half-ass apology that I read. Fuck Randy. Jesus Christ. I'm not a Borderlands fan, and now I'm starting to see the frustration you guys have. I'm just here on the tail end of it. Like, Lord have mercy.
Oh, there's actually more Borderlands news as well. I don't know if you had it in here.
Probably not.
All Borderlands games are being review bombed right now.
Oh, because of this?
No, not because of this, but it's funny that it happens around the same time.
Oh, okay.
So Borderlands terms of service has all been updated. Basically, I think because it's their terms of service has basically been updated to where there's, I believe, kernel level anti-cheat has now been added into their terms of service to prevent cheating, they say. Or it's basically the same type of anti-cheat that would be used in like multiplayer games, but it's hardware level, or like it gets put onto your hardware level of anti-cheat, which basically, from the sounds of it, would make like modding potentially not be okay in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and people are not happy.
So you saying that makes me assume that like maybe the older games have like a huge modding scene.
Well, it's like there's like mod packs for them,
Okay.
but it's basically like you wouldn't. I think modding would basically be against the terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big thing with it, especially like Borderlands 2 is a huge, like there's like Borderlands revamped or something like that, where it's like a big thing where it basically keeps the game the same, but it just alters like drop rates and like minor tweaks to the game and stuff like that. But that would technically be against like terms of service. But it's like there's a whole thing where all of the games have been being review bombed because of the change in terms of service. Yeah, their EULA. Yeah, their EULA now has like an anti-cheat in there, but with it also has like it says it like collects data and stuff like that, like collects online passwords and things,
Right.
which is, people already don't like when big multiplayer games have stuff like that like collects the information, and to have it in a single player / co-op experience is just like you're just shooting yourself in the foot with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it's like, why would it need to be in there if you weren't actually using it to collect the data? Is the way people are looking at it.
Right. At this point, I feel like Borderlands just needs a big overhaul, and it's going to start with Randy. Get out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big thing for a long time. Everybody's always said, or everybody said for the past several years at least, that Randy needs to not be the focus, or he needs to step back and get out of the way. But like as well, like if you're changing your like licensing agreement that people have to, you can't just try to sneak it in, because that's basically what happened with this. There was not like a big announcement or anything. It was just a new one got added and people found it.
Right. Which that's shitty. That's scummy. I feel like with something like that, you really should have got ahead of it. Like, hey, just this is one you might want to know about, guys.
Yeah, at least have a reason for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
Exactly. So tough stuff in the Borderlands community right now. That's for sure. Next thing I've got is more Xbox and Steam stuff, because this always seems to ramp up, and it's ramping up again. So we can chat about it real quick. Just basically about how the next Xbox, next gen Xbox, will be a Windows-based console with Steam and Epic integrations. We've talked about this. I think we've got standalone videos, clips of this type. We've been on this thing for like a dang year, it feels like. with full backwards compatibility, which that one is interesting because I don't know if I ever put this in the weekly wrap up. I can't remember, but there was a new job posting at Microsoft that the entire job posting was around backwards compatibility for Xbox. So that's interesting because that was within the last month or so. There was like a Steam beta found in some files recently. The Windows based Xbox is basically just it's a console like shell is what it's going to be. I personally think it's just going to be a PC with an Xbox logo on it in some capacity. Full Xbox emulation on PC. So I think it's just a PC with Xbox. Backwards compat for all Xbox games specifically. So going all the way back to the OG, which that's cool. New Game Pass tiers and price changes, which I fully expect that to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't.
There's too. The problem with Game Pass right now is there's too many versions of Game Pass.
Right.
Like it's confusing if you're not a Game Pass subscriber and you have to choose an option. It's confusing as hell right now.
It is. Yeah, they tried to simplify it, and they didn't do any. They didn't really simplify it at all. Because what is it now? Like core, essential, and ultimate. Is there something else in there?
So yeah, they have all of that for console and PC. They're separated. So if you buy Ultimate, it's everything, but they have the others for each console and PC.
Yeah.
But it's confusing as well because one tier of it gives you access to the library and lets you play all the games, but the other tier of it actually is the one that gives you access to day one games.
Yeah,
that's the only difference.
Yeah, that's the Ultimate one.
Well, no, because Ultimate is it for both. Because Ultimate gives it to you for PC and console.
Mm-hmm.
But they have it for console where one of them gives you access to the game library and one of them gives you access to the game library plus day one games.
Yeah, it's super convoluted.
It's dumb.
Yeah, because I mean they also have like the Xbox Core, Game Pass Core, which that was the replacement to Xbox Live Gold, which I feel like you look now that it looks so convoluted. I feel like you probably could have just kept Xbox Live Gold as your buy this to play games online, and then have Game Pass be the buy this if you want a Netflix for gaming. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's super convoluted. It's complicated. Apparently, there's gonna be new tiers. Hopefully, they make it easier with price changes, and this is all targeting a 2027 release. I mean, we've been following this rumor for a while. We've said this for a while that when it came to that Activision Call of Duty deal, Gabe personally did not sign it because he said, "I trust Microsoft." The dots have been there, and we here at Gamestetic have been connecting them for a hot damn minute that Xbox and Steam are cooking up something special. I personally think the next Xbox is just going to be basically a PC, and I think there will be a handheld variant with it. That's my stance on what it's going to be. I don't think they're really focused on the console race. They're just going to have this as a way to play Xbox games if you'd want to do this. Maybe this Xbox console can do even more than what a normal console can do. I don't know. I think they're just focused on making good games at this point, which they've been succeeding at that recently because like Xbox software has been selling crazy on PlayStation, for example. So I don't know. I mean, I think it was interesting that Epic is now included because I don't think that's really been in the rumors before.
I was gonna say that's never been. That's one we haven't talked about being included before.
I know your problem with this is you want to know the library thing and the store thing.
Well, it's one where it's still weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's not the whole reason that you would include Epic in this Xbox and Steam partnership is because there's certain games that are only available on Epic.
Yeah.
But Epic also is a much smaller library of games, and there's a lot of crossover there. So it's one where I see the reasoning why it would have to be included, but it's also like there's very few true exclusives to Epic that would be the cause of it.
Right. And I feel like also for like the library thing and like the shop thing, because we've talked about that extensively before. is like, I feel like probably the easiest solution is when you're going through looking at all these games, it'll just have a symbol by the game. The Xbox symbol, the Epic symbol, and the Steam symbol, and it'll show you what you can
Yeah.
buy it for and what it can be playable for. So for games
Yeah.
that aren't like, hey, but then again, if this is basically just a PC Xbox, I guess anything for the most part on Steam or Epic could be playable on this, because that's been everything this has been talked about. This is just a PC.
Yeah, it's one where it's like it kind of just depends on how the store is interfaced. If it is like like 3 separate stores
Yeah.
where you have like the Microsoft, then you have the Steam, then you have the Epic one, as long as like because those games, some of those games are available on all 3. As long as you're looking at one store, as long as it doesn't let you buy it if you already own it in one of the other stores, or at least if there's a warning saying, hey, you already own this, it's in your library, you bought it on Steam, for example, then I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because especially like that, if it's an all-in-one thing, as long as like if you could see the various games in each store, as long as it doesn't like tempt you to buy it or like allow you to buy it when you already own it in one of them, then it's perfectly fine. Like, I don't know, maybe they do like a combined store on
That's
it,
my guess.
and they just have it like when you open the game up, it just tells you it's like this is an Epic game, this is a Steam game, this is an Xbox game, or whatever.
That's what I think too.
Like, as long as it's clear which one you're buying it for, because if you did go back to like your normal PC or something to play the Epic one, it would be in your Epic library. Just so that you'd have to know where to actually go on your normal PC to be able to find it.
True.
Is the only thing that would make it confusing.
True. So I think that's the one thing that I'm going to be most anticipating is I want a full breakdown on how we're going to handle all these integrations. That's what I want more than anything. But
yeah, I want to see someone I want to see like a video of a store being used and a library being shown.
Yes, that is one thing that needs to be really focused in the promotional, like the big showcase trailer, like let's say the state of like this Nintendo Direct had, where they went over the features and stuff. We need something like that, but for this, where it shows how does the store integrations work. How is everything integrated? With all we're talking 3 vastly different accounts here. Like, how is everything integrated? That's what I want to know. And is everything playable? Certain things playable. So I'm assuming if everyone is if Epic and Steam and Xbox are all in on this together, I'm going to assume anything in all the libraries are playable with each other. So, but that also brings the question: is it the same thing for all 3 separate? Like, if you don't buy this console and you continue to play on your PC, John, and you get on Steam and you integrate all of these, can you play things that you have on Epic and you see what I'm saying? That's the stuff that I want to know. Or is
well, that's what I was saying. It's like
Yeah.
I can only assume that like this device when it comes out. I assume when you log into it, you will have to log into a Microsoft account that is connected to a Steam account. You'll have to log into one of the 3.
Yeah.
So you'll have to log into your Steam account, your Microsoft account, or your Epic account, and have them all connected.
Yep.
Or else the store just blacks out and won't let you buy the option.
Correct. Yeah. No.
Because that's like like you were saying there. It's like if you buy it on this, will you have access to it on your normal setup? You probably, I mean, you would, as long as your accounts are connected properly.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to. That would be the annoying thing about going back to your PC to play it. You'd have to make sure you're at the right storefront, because they're all separated on PC.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, hopefully whenever this gets announced, they really detail the store stuff. That's the most important stuff we want to know right now. Everything else seems whatever and fine. It'll be, if it's a PC Xbox, it's gonna have great tech. So just need to see the store stuff.
As a concept, it sounds great. It's just you got to show me that it's user friendly.
Exactly. Last title topic I had, which at this point I may just go readjust the thumbnail and the title. I don't know, man. Like this is one of those episodes, is involving what at this point could save Bungie, because there's been more stuff come out with the whole marathon thing. That Bungie morale is in full blown free fall after the marathon situation. I have also started to see some stuff come out of other graphics are now starting to get updated as they're going through full quality control outside of marathon. There's some event that is going on soon or right now with Destiny 2. I forgot what it's called, but there was like a little circle graphic down at the bottom with it, and I noticed someone pointed out they've changed that graphic to a new graphic, so people thinking that graphic was also stolen. Apparently just full quality control. There was a former Bungie dev that recently said that the best thing for Bungie is for Sony to take over, and that the current Bungie leadership needs to get gutted because of the toxic work environment. So the question a lot of people are asking is it time for Sony to step in and make Bungie hit the emergency Destiny 3 button? Because I feel like that button should have been hit a long damn time ago.
That button should have been hit about 4 years ago.
I agree. That button should have already been well smashed.
It's like Bungie basically just lived off of Destiny 2 riding its up and down of content releases.
Yep.
Because it's literally just been a roller coaster where it's like one would come out and it's well received, everybody loves it. The next one comes out, everybody hates it, but they're gonna buy it anyway because it's Destiny 2, and it's like to continue playing that game, you have to play the content no matter how bad it is.
Yep.
And then it's like, and it's the weird thing of like, okay, well, we're gonna work on something besides Destiny 2. It's like, okay, is that gonna be Destiny 3? No, it's gonna be Marathon, and everybody goes, why?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like
it's like you're known for Destiny. We get you want to do something different, but frankly, nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially once the gameplay for Marathon came out, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get a small fraction of people, but you already have a built community in Destiny that are willing to, like, looking forward to and willing to buy another Destiny game if you would just release it.
True.
And then you would have probably millions of people that don't want to go back to Destiny 2 because of how convoluted it is.
Agreed.
And would be more than happy to start playing Destiny again if a new game came out.
Yeah, that's me and you.
Have you gone to the Steam page of Destiny 2 and looked at the DLC list?
Not recently, no.
There's like 19.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's like 19 different options.
It's daunting. Like, it makes you not want to play the game, because like even Destiny players up front say, yeah, if you haven't played in a while or you're a new player, just don't play the game. I'm sorry, but don't.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it. It's like even their DLC options of buying it are convoluted.
Yeah.
Because you have everything individually, but then there's also packages in there that put half of the stuff together or like portions of it together. It's so convoluted. It's like just start over. It's like at this point they don't have time to work on a Destiny 3 to make a game and release it before they're basically dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's facts, because it's like, you know, with the way the state of Bungie is now, like that's true. And with Destiny 2, like it's just, you had the faulting content, now you got a lawsuit going on, now you got apparently a bunch of stolen assets. Even in Destiny, it's just one thing after another, and it's like, dude, you know, for people that are listening to this video or this episode, and it's like, you know, maybe they just hate Bungie, they hate Destiny games, this is going to be probably an extreme hot take to you. I'll stand on my hill. I will die on my hill. They put out Destiny 3. Mark my words. That game will pop off in player count. Pop off. I promise you. Because the amount of people that I personally know that would love to just go back and play Destiny, but they're done with 2. There's so much with 2. They don't even know where to start. I'm telling you, I mean, I know it's not many in the grand scheme, but I'm one single fucking small dude, right? At least like 20 to 30 people I know that would be like, yes, I'm down. people that I've talked to over the years. Me, you, Jared, Jacob, Andy. Those are just the start. I know I have former coworkers that I know for a fact would be that way. Current coworkers that'd be that way. I know people that would jump on to a Destiny 3.
Well, it's like everybody. I mean, pretty much everybody has played Destiny 2 to some extent.
True.
Whether it be when it came out or when it went free to play. It's like it's an established franchise, but it's one where it's like there's a reason why some of these games they come out with new big expansions, or they just come out with a new game essentially, and it's like that's why Destiny 2 was so big when it came out, was because like we're talking about Destiny 2 now. Destiny 2's been going on for what, 10 years?
Yeah,
Nearly
it's like a
10 years?
decade. 3 years was Destiny 1.
That's what I was about to
crazy.
say. Destiny 1 was a 3 years start to finish. Destiny 2 came out.
Crazy.
And in Destiny 1, the game was all the hype for the first year. The second year was kind of middling. And then they came out with the Taken King in the third year, which made the game explode.
Yep.
And then they came out with Destiny 2, which exploded. It's like Destiny 2, if anything, should have been a 5-year cycle.
Yep.
And then make another one. Because at this point, all you're doing with Bungie is you're just degrading all of your goodwill that you have, even in your like Destiny community.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, it's like now you're screwed because it's like you have this huge controversy with Marathon and everything, which means Destiny 2 is gonna be screwed because of it. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Make Destiny 3? Okay, well we'll see you in a couple years. By that point, you will be fully taken over by Sony. When maybe you should.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 1000%, dude. No, it's time to hit that emergency button is what it's time for. Dude, I don't know. It's crazy what's happening over at Bungie right now, personally. What the heck is going on over here? There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Okay, all right, hold on. Let me fix something real quick. And let me just take that off. Go ahead and take that off too. Take those off. Focus on those. All right. Let's keep going through the weekly wrap up here. Next thing I've got is Sandfall announced the Monolith Set for Expedition 33.
You buying this?
God, dude, I want to. It's $120. It's gonna feature all the physical items that came with the collector's edition that sold out immediately. The Monolith Statue Steelbook Journal. This is not limited. It's up for pre-order until 6/12. Man, I want to. I don't know. I might. I was gonna affirm it if I did, but dude, I've got so much on Affirm right now. I'm just trying to pay it off. I don't know, man. I want it so damn bad.
It's cool. I don't think I'm gonna end up picking it up. It's a lot of cool stuff, but as much as I love Expedition 33, I look at the stuff that's in there and I'm like, where am I gonna put that?
Right.
That's the main thing. It's where would I put it? I don't really have anywhere. I mean, I'm glad that they're bringing it back because people like everybody wanted it. So the fact that they listen, they're bringing it back, and they're saying, hey, whoever wants it, just pre-order it. No limits, you'll get it. That's extremely cool.
Yeah, shout out to Sandfall for that. Everything about Sandfall is just peak, man. Peak stuff. Everything I keep seeing come out, all the interviews that the director and the CEO is doing and stuff. Just, I love this guy. I love the studio.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for what's next.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like I can't. It's like I'm excited to see what they do next, because like I said, I think it was last week, when we talked about Expedition again. Whatever Sandfall does next, it's like they've got millions of fans who are just waiting on the next thing to drop.
Yep.
And I'm one of them. Whatever they release next, I will buy.
100%. And it's one of those things too, where it's like it does not matter if they go a Hazelight route and just make standalone banger after banger. It doesn't matter if they that are not connected. It doesn't matter if they go that route, or if they further expand on the Claire Obscure universe, not necessarily Expedition 33, because there are some things that could be a sequel. I mean, up front, I was talking to a buddy about this. Like, there's 100% things that could be a sequel for this game. There's a certain event going on that a certain character is, kind of dealing with. You know what I mean? That could very easily be a sequel. A lot of people immediately want to say like, "Oh, let's focus on another expedition." Nah, I feel like we got
I would.
everything we need. We got everything we need out of all the expeditions.
Yeah, the
Um,
problem is if you did focus on another expedition, you know what the end of that game is.
exactly. Like I've seen some people say, "Oh, dude, on Expedition Zero." No, Expedition Zero's story was basically told in this game.
The expedition, the one that I've seen is Expedition 60.
That is true. I have seen that.
That one is being memed
Yeah,
everywhere.
it is.
But at the same time, I mean,
You know what happens.
it's harsh to say, but there's no reason to do another expedition.
No.
It's like we know the outcomes of the expeditions that came before.
Yep.
It's like we know the story pretty much that happened to each one. So why would we do another expedition themselves?
I agree.
If we were gonna do something else from there, like you said, there's a whole different story to be told that could be explored upon.
Yep, with a certain character that they referenced a couple times that they're dealing with something that you never get to hear more about. I want to know about that shit.
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
If there is another story told of this from this universe, that's the story I would expect to be told.
Yeah. So even if they don't go that route and they just do a whole new game, whatever, we're buying it.
Yeah, if they make another game, it'll probably be another turn-based game with some of these action mechanics in their turn-based. I'm down for it. Whatever.
Yep.
It's like they established themselves as being able to make a certain type of game, and I'm okay with it.
I agree.
I loved it.
Yep.
Their storytelling is masterful, as we've seen. So whatever they do, it's gonna sell.
It's gonna be an immediate pre-order from me. Whatever special edition you got coming, buddy, you got my money. You best believe that. Next thing I've got is involving Fantasy Life I and the success of this game so far. The top-selling game on Steam for the week. It's already crossed 500K copies, and there's already free DLC announced.
Oh man, sorry to just completely divert off of that.
My wife's gonna be so mad at you for that.
No, it just happened to be at the same time. Remember when Kevin Owens was coming out with T-shirts of everybody?
Yeah.
R-Truth has come out with a "You Can't See Me" shirt where he taped over John Cena and has has Ron on it.
That's great.
And he's wearing all "You Can't See Me" wear. He came out with one of the little shirts that says "The last time is now."
R-Truth is a treasure. R-Truth is a treasure. But no, the success for Fantasy Life though, pretty cool to see. Especially,
I was actually looking at it earlier. It is overwhelmingly positively reviewed.
Honestly, I've been watching her play it because that's all she's been playing. It's all she can think about. Man, that map is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Like, she showed me the map. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good size map. She's like, oh no, this is only one part of it, and she backs out and shows me the rest. I'm like, God dang! So you got so much to do. So if you played the OG, it's got so many callbacks, plus everything new they've added. It looks fun. I've been watching her play it. I think you would enjoy it. In all seriousness, John, I think you would. I think you would enjoy this game.
That's the thing. It's like when I looked at it, or like when it was initially kind of shown, it looks like a chill game that I would probably enjoy.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's like I can't. Maybe later in the year.
Yeah.
Maybe on a sale later in the year or something, or maybe just when I have more stuff or like less stuff going on. Because honestly, if I hadn't picked up 100 Line, maybe.
Right. That's fair.
But it's like I've got that right now, and maybe I'll jump into Fantasy Life at some point because it does kind of look like kind of the chill game I would enjoy.
Let's see. Next thing I've got is Wise versus Trails in the Sky. Alternative Saga launches this summer in the West. So shout out to that. Shout out to that.
Yeah, a little callback. Another series I'd like to play at some point.
Yeah, right.
Well, the Y series, never played it. Always looks good.
Yep. Let's see. Resident Evil 9 apparently started as an open world multiplayer game per rumors. So if that it says started, so if that's the case, hopefully that's not the case and you're doing something else.
Yeah. I, you know, I know it's not how it reads, but you know how I'd like that to read? That you literally start the game as an open world multiplayer game that then morphs into a single player experience.
So you're trying to take a Halo Infinite approach here?
Yeah, why not?
Where it was like the open world game and all of a sudden they want to change it?
Yeah, I would think that, like, I know that's not what they mean, but it would be really funny if that's what it was.
Right. Man, that's been Resident Evil 9 has been floating in the rumors for like God bless, feels like forever now. It's like when the heck are we gonna actually get an announcement? I guess we'll see. I thought this cracked me up. This gave me a good laugh. I love immediate clapbacks like this. So someone started a rumor. They gained a lot of steam very quickly on Twitter, saying that Sony Santa Monica's next game was going to be a sci-fi game. Jeff Grubb was the one who said he's been told this is happening. Jeff himself had to step into the fire here and immediately respond saying, no, I didn't. This is the most random ass speculation about an old rumor. Delete this. So for anyone else that may have caught that rumor, because I definitely saw some people responding to this like, oh yeah, man, that'd be cool. I wonder what it could be, blah, blah. Go ahead and squash it. This did not actually make the rounds. That's a load of crap. So shout out to that. That was just one of those funny things for the week. Also, shout out to this for anyone that didn't know. FTC has officially and finally dropped its case against Microsoft and Blizzard deal. Yeah, that's still been going on for anyone who did not know. That has been an active, ongoing thing, and is now officially over. So thank God to that. Still staying with Xbox. Nate the Hate says Xbox games will be coming to Nintendo Switch too. Well, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting to see some big dogs over to the Nintendo Switch 2 at some point. And last thing I've got is Bethesda has invited the Skyblivion team to studio for tea and sweet rolls, showing their support for the team's modding ventures even with the Oblivion remaster releasing. In fact, Bethesda gifted the Skyblivion team all free copies of Oblivion remaster. So that's just one of those cool moments to see, where a studio is all about their modding scene, unlike the Borderlands team. So shout out.
Yeah, no, I had seen that too. It's cool because Bethesda could have very well have been like, shut this down.
Yep.
But the fact that they're just embracing it is really cool to see.
Agreed. You got anything else you want to shout out for the week?
Oh, I thought I had something, but maybe I don't. Maybe not.
Okay.
Thought I had something. Maybe I don't.
Well, all that's left is Gamestetic Game of the Week, my friend. I think it's your week.
I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I didn't see it in the list, and I don't know if I don't know how updated that is. So stop me if I mentioned it before. Should have mentioned it a long time ago. We're talking backyard baseball.
Are you doing this because it went on sale?
No, I didn't actually know it was on sale.
Yeah.
I was looking earlier, and I was like, I don't know if I've shouted this out recently. No, backyard baseball. It's everybody's favorite game. Pretty much everybody's favorite game when they were growing up. Pretty much everybody played backyard baseball or backyard sports to some extent. There's nothing to it really. It is a point and click sports game. It's just it's really just kind of these days. It's whimsical. It's nostalgia. It's everything. It's it's everything that you like kind of hope that it would still be after like 20 years, or close to 20 years. It's just as like honestly just as fun. Backyard Baseball came at like was re-released. What was it last year? And more like they had a list of additional games that were going to be coming back as well. They're all just as it's like they're just as fun as they were before. They're simple, they're nostalgia games. It's point and click sports games where you draft a team and just play through seasons, or you just play pickup games. Sometimes when we do game of the week, we like to shout out like games that were missed, like big games that were missed, or like hidden gems or something like that. There's nothing crazy about Backyard Baseball. It is as simple and like nostalgic as you would expect a release like that to have been. And you know what? I love every moment that I play it. I pop into it every now and then and just play a few games. And I mean, it honestly it does hold up after the time. It's as simple as because it is a simple point and click sports game. It's not complicated. It holds up because of it. So you know what? If you played it when you were younger, the games are like $3.
There you go.
It's 100% worth like picking them up. Even if you only play a round or two, it's still worth it because what's better than supporting a development team that might potentially want to make a comeback to a game franchise that everybody loved. So yeah, but Backyard Baseball and the backyard sports in general. Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like 97, 98. Like just went on sale for like $4 or something like that recently. So yeah, you want a chance to get it. Right now's the time, brother. Right now's the time. So shout out. All right, let's hit the music. This show went on so much longer than I thought it would. What the fuck? It's over 2 hours. John, what happened?
But I mean, come on, what do you expect? It's like when you get two people together, we can ramble about anything. Remember me and Zach doing shows?
That's true. You got any last words?
Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Leave a comment down below. What's a game that you missed out on, or a game that you haven't played or kind of wish that you played. Let's see if you got anything different than what we came up with. And if you like what you saw here with us, we do these live streams every Saturday about 6 p.m. Central Time. So come check us out then.
Yeah, we'll be back next week as well as the week after. Honestly, going to be a pretty exciting couple of weeks to talk about some stuff. I cannot believe John is still drinking that. Cannot believe it.
It is better room temperature.
Okay, whatever. No, next week.
It's still not good.
Yeah, it's not. He's talking about the new Cola Quantum that got re-released. It's ass. Shout out to my Games to the Game Shelf where I got the OG. But I don't know what all we're going to talk about next week. I'll have 100-line defense. I'll probably want to chat about that, plus anything else comes out the week. But hey, the week after that, though, banger, brother. We got Summer Game Fest. I got the Switch 2 coming out June 7th. We got a banger of an episode coming, boys. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Can't wait. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend, check out some Rogue Energy and Agent Inc. that I just remembered I didn't shout out in the show. It's okay, though. Sparky3 shop as well. Check out the Patreon if you want to support us further. Join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend. Until next time.